Hi there, this is Ryan Blair with a potent message going to require you to put on your helmet and to buckle your seatbelt, so let's get after it. Now, I want to welcome you to my world. Put up or shut up. No excuses allowed. Produce or perish. This is a raw, direct, and it's about as simple as it gets. See, a large part of the work I do involves rubbing my clients the wrong way. And I do that by asking difficult questions, by challenging false assumptions, by attacking their comfort zones, and by calling them out on their bullshit. And the best part is that they love me for it. See, today my intent is to do the exact same thing for you by laying down some tough love. So be prepared to be irritated, harassed, and have your chops busted. And once you get past the drama of having your bullshit confronted, you'll thank me for it. Heck, you might even name your next kid after me. So let's get started. Now, if you say there's an elephant in the room, you mean that there's an obvious problem or a difficult situation that people know exists, but they do not want to talk about or do anything to resolve. So we see this cowardly avoidance type behavior everywhere. We see it in business, in politics and sports. It's in healthcare, education, and religion. We see it in our relationships, in our health and our finances, and if you look in the mirror, you'll most likely find the biggest culprit of all. See, over the years I've come to the understanding that rather than dealing with reality as it is and confronting undesirable realities head on, most people, most companies, communities, and even governments, well, they'll choose to stick their head in the sand. They prefer pretending that an obvious problem or difficult situation simply does not exist. They hope that it will somehow resolve itself. These people prefer to embrace a convenient lie over an inconvenient truth. In short, they favor playing with reality as they wish it to be. As a result, they live a life of denial, resistance, excuse-making, blaming, avoidance, and other diversionary behaviors. So what is it? What is the obvious problem or difficult situation that people know exists in their life, but they do not want to talk about, much less have their bullshit called out? And is there a way to permanently resolve it? See, untapped human potential is the elephant in the room. I'm talking the hopes, the dreams, the goals, and good intentions that simply don't translate into purposeful action. That is the greatest plague of mankind. However, I'm happy to report that there is good news, there is a bright side, because untapped human potential is also the quickest and the easiest of all problems to solve. But let's unpack this a little bit further. See, on a global scale, there's a chronic and ever-expanding disconnect between intentions and results, because the goals that companies and individuals set for themselves far too frequently bear little resemblance to the results that they actually achieve. And if you have any chance of unleashing your greatness and living at the peak of your potential, it will be because of your ability to close what I like to call the knowing-doing gap. This truth is as simple as it is profound. See, knowing what to do is simply not enough in life. Never has been, nor will it ever be. The marketplace, well, it only rewards implementation. I'm talking successful implementation, which means the hopes, the dreams, the goals, and good intentions that do not translate into purposeful action are completely meaningless. The elephant in the room, the thing that prevents people from achieving their goals, and the root cause of most people's suffering, lies in their unwillingness or their inability to close the gap between knowing what they need to do and actually doing it. Now, does this sound like anyone you know? So how do I know this? Well, 3 words: behavior never lies. See, the real essence of truth of who you really are as a human being is never going to be found in what you believe, say, or even know intellectually, but only by what you do. And in the words of Rudyard Kipling, knowledge is knowing, and wisdom is doing. So allow me to put some meat on these well-endowed bones and to expose the hypocrisy gap between knowing and doing. We all know that eating a healthy diet is the right call to make, yet far too many of us do the wrong thing and they choose to eat poorly. We all know that regular exercise is the best thing that you can do for your body. However, a good number of us mistreat their most prized possession. We all know that we should save more than we spend, but the debt that is held by far too many people provides proof of a lack of understanding. We all know that continued learning is the smartest thing that we could do for our future. However, most of us don't even crack open a book after they leave high school or college. We all know that promises and commitments are meant to be honored, yet when faced with difficulty, resolve and character has a tendency of heading for the door. And we also know that going the extra mile for our clients is the right thing to do. However, most refuse to do what they know is right for the very people who are 100% responsible for paying their wages. We all know what we need to do in order to achieve our goals. However, the majority choose procrastination over initiative, fear over courage, and excuses over responsibility. Far too many people have embraced the principle of SOYA, which is sitting on your ass instead of GOYA, getting off your ass. That explains why most people have very little to show on the highlight reel and why they go to their graves with their music still inside them. So I want to make this point abundantly clear. Untapped human potential is the elephant in the room, and it's also the quickest and the easiest of all problems to solve. So you can do extraordinary things and quickly transform your life, your career, your health, and your relationships once you cut the bullshit behavior out of your life. Once you accept reality as it is, once you confront undesirable truths head on, and once you do what you know is the right thing to do. Now, Confucius was absolutely right when he said over 2,000 years ago, to know and not to do is still not to know. That's why the greatest challenge you'll ever face in your lifetime is to address the elephant in the room and to immediately go to work on closing the gap between knowing and doing. And the faster you do it and the more deliberate your intent, I promise you, the sooner you'll live happily ever after. And it's for this reason why I created the 100-Day Challenge. I want you to follow my lead for the next 100 days. And I'll not only show you how to crush your goals and transform your life in record time, I'll also help you to solve this pesky knowing, doing problem forever. So just go to 100daychallenge.com, check it out for yourself, and make it the very next thing you do.